Okay, so time on the show to turn our attention to Matlock Town Football Club. Unfortunately, Matlock were defeated in their playoff semi-final in the MPL Premier Division by Warrington Town last Tuesday night. But to discuss that, and of course, earlier on, how they managed to get into the playoffs on the final day of the regular league season, we're joined by the Gladiators manager, Martin Carruthers. Martin, first of all, how are you today?
Very well, thanks. Recovered after disappointment, but once you've let your emotions settle down and you reflect on everything, you calm yourself down and reflect on, what has been a really positive, exciting 5 months for me and Wayne.
Yeah. Of course, it's easy to forget that you've still not been at Matlock all that long. It's only been you joined in mid-December, didn't you? So much has happened in that amount of time. But before we get to the Warrington game, let's just have a quick chat about what happened on last Saturday for you to get into the playoffs because you needed to win. You needed to beat Marine away from home last Saturday and hope that Hyde United and Radcliffe both didn't win their games. And remarkably, that scenario did happen. Because I don't think I've ever interviewed a manager before where they've gone into sort of like a final day where they're having to check other results. What was your approach to it? Was it literally just concentrating on what Matlock were doing and maybe having a check at the other scores at half time? What were your emotions on that day?
To be honest, we were pretty relaxed. We were going into Marine in good form. We'd beat them, 2 weeks previously at home, although it was a very tight game and could have gone either way. And we just said to the boys, finish the season on a high, regardless of other results. We're not expected to get in the playoffs. We thought we'd fell away 6 games ago and we managed to claw ourselves and give ourselves something to fight for, which was brilliant. It was brilliant for the fans and the local community and the chairman to go into that game, and knowing if we won and results went our way, then we'd sneak in. And yeah, we had phones on the bench. We were checking the other results, and obviously when Radcliffe went 1-0 up, you just still want to go out and win the game. And that was just the game plan from the off, and the lads produced a magnificent performance, and we managed to win the game 1-0 from a set piece, and Sharmo getting the goal. And even at 1-0, we knew that Radcliffe were losing 2-1, and even with 5 minutes to go, we knew that if we conceded, we'd lose it all. So emotions were still, tense on the sidelines. I'd gone from being totally relaxed first half to, a nervous wreck with 5 minutes to go. But it was an unbelievable feeling and achievement, to scrape through on the final day.
Yeah, fantastic. So just moving on to that Warrington game. So it was the first half, obviously, that did the damage because you were 4-0 down at the interval and it ended 4-1 in the end. Um, Now that you've had a few hours to reflect on that performance, what do you think happened in that first half? Do you think it was just a case of the opposition were on their A game and they were just so clinical, there wasn't much you could do about it? Did a few of your players, don't know, maybe the occasion got to them a bit? What do you think happened?
To be honest, like I said before we started the interview, it's easy to let the disappointment of one game, spoil 5 months of hard work and an unbelievable, you know, um, performances and effort from the players up to that time, because what they produced, having three managers, constant player changes, formation changes, it's been a massive upheaval. So, what we did, was a phenomenal effort, in the first place. And at half time, I didn't, want to go into too much detail, but then again, emotions get the better of you, and you look at players and performances. But I've looked at the game back now, I've looked at the highlights, and if completely honest, they were just on a different level. And sometimes you just have to accept that a better team on the day, they've been together 3 years, and their movement, their passing, their shape out of possession, their shape in possession, their pace on the counter attack was just too much for them, and we couldn't deal with it. And it makes you feel a little bit when you see Arsenal lose to Man City like that last night, and it's not because
Mm.
Arsenal are a bad team; it's because Warrington are probably a better side than South Shields, and I really do hope they go up because they are that good, and individual quality as well as collective quality. And they've been in the playoffs 3 years running now, and it shows. And that's the sort of level that I want my Matlock team to get to. That movement, that interchanging, that fluidity. It's exciting football. It's exciting to watch, and they create lots of chances. And you look back and you think, wow, what a good side they are. And it would have been a travesty if we won that game.
Yeah, and but one positive to take, huge positive to take from both of those games is just seeing, even after that Warrington defeat, was how close knit the fan base is right now with the club. Because at the Marine game, which is obviously a long trip, and also to Warrington, which is a long trip for a midweek evening game, so many Matlock supporters came to the game, and obviously even when you were 4-0 down, they were still, really cheering you on and fully behind the team. Just how fantastic was the support over the last few days?
Support's been phenomenal. I go back to mine and Wayne's first game against Belper on Boxing Day when there was 1900 there. They've always got behind us, even after defeats and, certain players leaving that have been out of our control, at the fans' favourites, and they're still backed us to the hilt, which has been great. And for me, it's just how the local community and the supporters have come together over the last 5 months. It's fantastic to see a lot of younger supporters now, and they're the future of the club. They're the next generation. But, the trip away at Marine, the coach journey on the way back with the fans was, one of the best coach journeys I've ever had, where you got that many emotions, all the fans are singing, and, even after, I think it was Whitby away after we got beat and was on the coach with them, they were exactly the same. They are just an absolute pleasure. And, it's easy for the fans, after a defeat like that, to get on people's players' backs and management's backs, but they haven't, and I was at a sportsman's dinner last night at the football club, trying to raise money for the club. And while I'm sat with the chairman and Tom Wright, that they'd sold 10 season tickets, immediately after the Warrington game. So that just goes to show, how much, the local community and fans are getting behind us. They like the quality of football. We want to win games of football, and, hopefully this is just the start of a really long, successful journey for us.
Yeah, fantastic. And just finally then, Martin, obviously the work never ends for a manager, it always continues. But you must be really encouraged already for the start of next season. And I think Matlock fans in general must be really excited about what's to come for next season with a full season with you at the helm, because you've managed to do so much within the space of around about 4 or 5 months. How encouraged are you for Matlock's chances of promotion for next season?
Yeah, really, really excited. I was speaking to my ex-assistant after the game, the Warrington game, and I remember it's only my second playoff, and the last playoff semi-final we was 4-0 down after 20 minutes, and the next season we won the league. So, I'm very superstitious, but, we know we've got the bulk of a really good squad. We know we've got, maybe only 3-4 additions to make us a really good side. And, with a good pre-season behind us, in and out of possession, make us really strong. I really fancied our chances, because I think, if you get super fit and have a really good start to the season, then, you can hit the ground running. Me and Wayne want to stay at the football club. We're going to meet Jay in the next couple of days and hopefully get everything agreed. But yeah, we're looking forward to a long, successful stay. Everything about the football club is brilliant. Just how much it's such a family, orientated football club, and I think it's just a special football club, and we want to be part of that future success.
Okay. No worries. Well, thanks for your time, Martin. I know obviously it wasn't the result we all wanted against Warrington in the semi-final, but nevertheless, a really impressive half a season for you to manage to get Matlock into the playoffs. So fantastic achievement, and it really bodes well for next season. So thanks for your time, Martin. Have a good break, and we'll see you for the start of next season. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate.